You're on.
All right. Well, there's no sense in trying to approve minutes. Hang on, I have to get my agenda in front of me here. We should have present to speak, right?
Yeah, and you're recording too. Do you want
If we're not, well, yeah. So we're holding. We did call it to order, so we might as well record. Okay. Do we have anyone present to speak?
That would be Jen.
No pressure.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on to chairperson report. I don't think there are any surprises in my report. The hope was tonight that we would pass our report on to the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Ed, give them a couple weeks to see if there's any feedback. Board of Ed meets next Tuesday, I believe, week from tomorrow. And Board of Selectmen will meet tonight and then again 2 weeks from tonight. So if we gave it a couple weeks to make sure we hadn't missed something critical in the report, at that point, then we would basically just sign it and send it. If we had to make an adjustment, we would reconvene a meeting to make the adjustment, or address it, discuss it, whatever needed to be done. The financial report, has that been distributed to all of you yet?
I have not seen it.
Okay.
I thought that was emailed to everybody by Karen.
I don't think the financial one went in the email. All the minutes did, the agenda did, and our final report overall, but I don't think the financial one got sent out. And I think that was my fault. I reviewed it and then I think I didn't realize I hadn't gone out in the other package and I was going to send it and I think I did not. So Phil has it on the screen. The key number that I'm sure everyone's interested in is that once we released our encumbrances, the number that we thought we'd have available went up because, of course, we had money encumbered until we got final billings. So as you can see, the top right number there, 67,337 and 11 cents. That is what remains unspent, and that is still within the town's in the general fund. It's not like we're holding the money in a separate account. So once we are sure that we are done with our business, our final act would be to advise the Board of Selectmen that they can advise the financial office that money is, no longer needed by the school building committee. And so that's just a matter of us essentially taking the vote to tell them. But of course, we can't take a vote till we have a quorum.
What's left in the encumbrance there? What's still sitting out there?
That's an invoice that's in the process of being paid. But that does not affect the 67 number.
Yeah, so this is essentially done, is what I'm trying to get at. That 67 is, for all intents and purposes, final.
Right. Yes, I believe that's correct. Right. The 67 is after that bill gets paid. So it will not go down by that 45.90.
Correct.
So, any questions amongst the group so far? I don't know if people have had time to look through all those minutes yet either. If you have questions on anything while we're waiting, hoping another member shows up, I'll certainly try to take those.
No, I mean, if we're not going to go through the minutes, I did catch a couple of miscellaneous typos and spelling clarifications in some of the minutes, but there's no point in reviewing them now until we're actually getting through them.
Yeah, I haven't found anything yet, and I haven't reviewed everything. I just couldn't get through them all yet. I was very happy to have them done and have them look pretty much correct. So thank you, Phil, for tracking down a person and getting that done.
How long until we decide to call time of death on a quorum here?
Mhm.
I don't know.
9 minutes.
Has anyone tried texting anybody yet?
I was thinking of texting Brianna, but my phone is not here. I could go off and find it
Oh, that's right. I can text her.
and maybe text her.
I'll get her right now.
I don't know if Lauren has started gymnastics. And then Catherine, maybe could try her.
I just texted Brianna. Now I'm texting Catherine.
Okay.
Yeah. I did see Justin over the weekend at the transfer station and reminded him about the 6 p.m. meeting tonight, but I think the
His
timing
daughter
and
is
the
at this playing in the soccer game that I just left.
Yep, that's what I expected to be the result there.
Phil, can you email Catherine the link? She says she can come on if someone can send her the link.
Sent.
Okay.
There's one thing, it's not on the agenda. Would we have to add it to the agenda if I wanted to bring up one more thing?
Yeah, we just can't add anything to the agenda without a quorum to vote on adding things to the agenda.
Okay, just let me put the idea out there, and then if
Okay.
it's something we decide to go with, we can add it officially. Communications for the end of our work. And I haven't discussed this with Phil yet, my fellow communications person, but would it be a good idea to put something in the Willington Wire with a link to the report? So people know the outcome at this point?
Honestly, why not? I mean, we can just give information to tell them where the report is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we could do that after the Board of Ed and the Board of Selectmen have both approved it.
Hi, Catherine.
How you guys doing?
Hi, Catherine.
Sorry I was
We need
late.
a quorum.
Brianna texted she's going to try to jump on also. We have a quorum now. Yep. Catherine, where we were just kind of in discussion since we didn't have a quorum, that my intent anyway, as chairperson, was that we would send off our report to Board of Selectmen by action tonight. Send off our report to Board of Selectmen or Board of Ed and tell them that we believe this is our final report unless they see something that is, missing that they feel needs to be in there. We'd give them, 2 weeks or whatever to respond back, and then we would seal it and send it. And if they had some sort of an adjustment that needed to be made, we would call one more meeting, to make whatever adjustment we need to make, and then seal it and send it. And we also did review the financial report. I don't know if you've had time to even, the financial report didn't go out to you yet, so you wouldn't have been able to review it. Phil, I'm guessing, is about to screen share it again, but basically, we have $67,330 some left unspent. There you go, 67,337 and 10 cents. Oh, look at that, we got Brianna too.
Mhm.
That sounds about right, because we haven't spent anything since our sort of last official meeting, right?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
one invoice left to finish up that we already had, but had not been paid yet. You'll see on the screen there, $4,590. That was Eagle Environmental. That's a bill we've had. We knew about it. It just hadn't actually been processed yet. So that leaves us, after that bill is paid, with the remaining 67,337.10, which would, once we send an email to the Board of Selectmen, essentially is released from this project. Whatever decision making within the town process could use it other places or return to the general fund or whatever. So I don't know if people feel prepared to approve the financial report, since we now have a quorum. We haven't had time to review it, certainly. If people want time to review that, I understand it. I understand that, but I don't think there are any surprises in it either. We've been pretty stagnant on expenses for the last few months. So I guess what's the feeling of the group?
I mean, from my opinion, there hasn't been any spend since our last, like you said, it was just that last invoice. So like you said, there's no surprises. So I would feel comfortable voting on, is that what we're voting on? Just the financial report?
Well, there's no motion yet. I just was looking for some consensus.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I
if we're
know.
going in order of the agenda, Mike, I think old business comes up first.
Yeah, sorry.
Which is the report.
I gotta grab it off. I gotta move my screens around here and go back to the
Yep.
agenda.
Actually, I think communications is the first.
Mhm.
I think that was all kind
On
of
the agenda.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, yep. So communications, and do you want to just review the comment you made before?
Right. I think it might be a good idea if we put out a little article for the Willington Wire. Maybe we would make it by the time for the winter edition, and then have a link going to the final report. So anybody that's interested could read the report, and we could do that when the Board of Ed and the Board of Finance approve the report.
Great idea.
Agreed.
Mike, excuse me.
Yes.
Do those two boards have to approve this report or simply accept it?
Accept?
I think they just have to accept it. My only reason for sending it to them before we disband completely is if someone says, "Oh my God, you missed this," whatever, we would want to take one shot on fixing that revision or whatever.
Okay, so we put it out as a final draft.
Yeah, right. With our intent that that's the final report, and if one of those two boards says, "Please consider including, A, B, or C," then we reconvene and determine if we need to include that.
Are you expecting that they would say that, Mike? Because,
Probably not.
okay, so,
I suspect
No, I
suspect they're going to accept what we've created, especially once we, attach the financial report, because the financial report goes in that packet there at the end. That kind of answers all the questions.
yeah, I mean, like, whenever you issue any kind of report, like a monthly report or any kind of report, people are gonna have feedback, but it doesn't mean we go back and change it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So,
No,
think
I'm just looking for something if they say there's something materially missing.
yeah,
And I would word it that way when I send the email later tonight or tomorrow morning. After this meeting, I would say we intend this to be our final report unless you see something significant material that's missing.
Yeah, I mean, just my opinion. I don't want to take over the meeting, but
No,
um,
you're just as
I
valuable
wouldn't
as
even say
anyone
that.
else.
I would just say, here's our final report, period. And because if you say that, unless there's something materially missing, it's almost like you're inviting them to look and find something. And, you know, we put a lot of work into this, and it looks pretty thorough. I don't know, it's just my opinion.
Okay. Okay, so just so that we're kind of keeping on the agenda, is there anything else in communications? All right, then we're on the final report question.
Does it make sense, Mike, to make a motion to move final financial report up ahead of this? Just so we can sign off on that sucker if need be?
Well, I think that can happen next anyway, because that just
Fair.
gets added to the report.
Yeah,
It's its own report.
that's fine.
Okay, so I move that
Mike,
what?
excuse me. We're still on the final report, I presume?
Yes.
Okay. Is it way too late to make some simple textual changes, clarifications?
What do you?
I have only two.
Okay, what do you got?
I won't drag it out. Page 17 under land.
Okay, stand by. I think Phil is going to bring it up on the screen. Okay.
No.
Little higher.
Scroll up a bit, Phil. There you go. Right at the top of the page. Okay. The first sentence right after the word were, I would change that to solely -owned, single parcel properties. Just to make, you know, yeah, I don't, it's very clear we only looked at parcels. We did not look at contiguous ownership. And that's what I think the point is we're trying to make here. So I'm trying to differentiate what we did look at from what we didn't look at. Just by making it clear, it's solely owned single parcel properties. It's wordsmithing, take it for what it's worth. The other thing that I don't see in this report at all is any suggestion that this committee has run its course and should be disbanded because we fulfilled all aspects of our charge that we could.
I don't think that's necessarily a function of this report. Ralph, I think that's separate, you know, I think that's a separate consideration
Okay.
outside of the approval of the report, but
I'm
that's my
not
thought initially.
okay,
You
Jim,
guys can debate.
and I'm not suggesting that it's something that has to be in this report. I just think that should be communicated to whoever receives this report from this committee.
So Ralph, I think that last comment is particularly important. I've thought about the exact same thing, and I think it probably is good for the email that sends this report out to the Board of Ed and the Board of Selectmen that says that we believe we have completed all of the points in our charge that we were able to complete based on approval of the taxpayers, or something to that effect. And we believe our work is done.
Okay, Mike, I just sent you an email.
Okay.
With the text for that parting comment, if you will.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I don't have a
thought
problem with it.
process.
Mhm.
You know, I just think it's outside of the realm of what the final reporting of the report is, you know. But I think it's what we need to relay to the various boards, you know, for their consideration.
Okay, so for the purpose of discussion, I'm gonna move that we send the final report as we have it to the Board of Selectmen and Board of Ed. And then we issue it in 2 weeks if we have not had any critical corrections.
Second.
All right, discussion. I guess we'll vote.
Can I
All
just
right.
ask one question? Because
Yes.
I'm just looking at the latest version. And maybe it's in here. Did we capture the work that we did as far as the environmental piece, and is that embedded in here, or would that be considered sort of just information about the existing sites?
Interesting question.
Like, because we did that environmental study on the piece of property on Adamac, and then we also did the a little bit of environmental study at Hall. I would imagine that would be helpful information if we move to do any kind of renovation or improvement at Hall at least. I mean, if it's not part of the report, would it be
It's-
worth maybe including like a header that says environmental studies were done on the two sites, here's a link for it?
It's included in the information gathered by the school building committee as reference on page 4. It's the last bullet. It's not like we don't provide a link to the data, but it's referenced that has been performed and is available.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how
That's
everybody else feels.
that's probably good. People can check back
Yeah.
in records or
Yeah.
minutes if they want to see detail.
Yeah,
Sorry, Catherine, does that satisfy the question?
whereabouts is it?
It's the last bullet on page 4.
Page 4.
Under information gathered by the school building committee. Keep going. Up.
No, PDF page 4.
PDF, oh,
Right.
sorry, you on Word, yeah. I
Yeah,
might have translated differently.
thank you for that.
There it is. Well, it's still, it's,
Right at the top of the screen.
yeah, if you scroll up a little further, you can see the context, Phil. Yeah, it's under the
Oh.
information gathered by the school building
Perfect,
committee.
okay.
So guys, I'm leaving in 3 minutes for Board of Selectmen, sorry.
So you want to
I
vote?
think as long as we reference that we did that work,
I'd make just a friendly comment there, Mike, that the following insertion or approval of the final financial report to be added as an appendix. Because the
It
report as we have it,
already shows it on the it already shows it in this report. There's a slot for it. Hi, Peter.
yeah, it just says insert final report here, so we approve
Yeah.
it pending subsequent approval of a final expenditure report.
you mean when we vote?
Yeah,
In
we don't
1
have it.
minute from now.
Yeah,
Got it.
I don't know if we need to amend that for the motion, but
I think we have it by consensus.
perfect.
So any more questions on the motion?
Mike, why don't you read the motion one more time for Peter's benefit?
I won't get the exact wording the same again, but
I'm sure you
essentially,
won't, but-
Pete, I moved that we send the report as we have it now to the Board of Ed and Board of Selectmen. If we don't hear anything back in 2 weeks, we issue it as the final report. And when we email it to those boards, we would say that we believe we've completed everything in the task list, that we believe we've completed all of our charge that we are able to, and that we believe our work is done.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike,
All right.
should we also attach a copy of our original charge in the email?
It's in the
I don't
report,
think
isn't it?
I don't think we need to. Everyone we're communicating with has been through it many times.
Is it listed in the report? It should be in the report, I would think.
Should be one of the appendices or at least part of that report.
The charge is on page 2 of the report. Or at least
Thank you,
it's,
Jim.
the bullets are delineated. It's not
Okay.
referenced directly. We just
Got
copied
it.
each of the 11 items in the charge
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, okay.
Any more discussion? All right. Jim Marshall,
Aye.
Ann Grosjean,
I,
Ralph Toulis,
I,
Catherine,
Aye.
Brianna,
Aye.
Peter. I lost Peter at the last second. I'll be an aye for Mike McCoo. Okay. Ralph, can you take the rest of the agenda so that I can go to Board of Selectmen? You still have enough votes.
sure. There isn't much to do other than minutes, and the only minutes that I would like to go over are the most
Yeah.
So
recent.
the financial report,
financial report.
Okay, yeah, we can do
Peter-
that too. Yeah, I'm
Peter, do
sorry.
you want to vote on that since you're back?
I don't know what happened. I apologize.
we were just voted on sending the report. That's it.
Yes, I'm affirmative.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to
Thanks.
Board of Selectmen. Sorry to abandon you guys.
Okay,
In
Mike.
case this is our last meeting, hopefully, thank you, everyone. And I will be more formal about that in email.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
I might.
Okay. See if I've got everything up here, I think. So we're on new business final financial report. We've already gone over that for the benefit of Brianna and Peter. Perhaps, Phil, you could pull up that first page real quick. The bottom line is we're going to be returning 67,000 and change to the town, or freeing up that 67,000. We don't anticipate any changes, as we've discussed earlier. So what was the goal, Phil? We're going to just release this, approve this as final. So we would need a motion to do that.
Yeah, you should probably vote on that report.
I'll make a motion to approve the final financial report as recently shown on screen by Phil.
Mhm.
And seconded.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Catherine?
I just noticed the report was dated 11/1. I know it's 5 days later, so I would just suggest that we get the latest report. If Mike is gonna be emailing this to Board of Selectmen, I'm not sure when, he said the next day or so. I think it'd be good if we have the very latest from the town.
Okay, we can add that as a friendly amendment to the motion. No one has any objections?
Nope.
Okay. Well, let's call it to a vote then. Do a roll call. Jim Marshall,
Aye.
Ann,
I,
Catherine,
Aye.
Brianna,
Aye.
and Peter.
Aye.
And myself, aye. Okay. Approval of minutes. Anyone prepared to tackle this one?
mhm.
We can discuss corrections. I know, Jim, you said you had some.
Yeah, I have some miscellaneous spelling updates on some of these, but if people, it's not worth going into unless everybody else is prepared. What do we feel?
No, I'm not.
Then it can wait.
Spell check.
Was that?
It's honestly, we just spelled Peter Tanaka's name 18 different ways throughout all of these minutes. Uh, So, yeah, anyway, that's the bulk of it, in all honesty.
All right. So by consensus, we'll pass on these for now.
Well, the only thing is, we don't really have another meeting scheduled. What if we just took a couple minutes to go through them and then vote to complete them?
I'm willing if everyone else is. Does everyone else have copies of these minutes to review tonight?
Can someone pull them up on the screen
Jim
or?
does. No, that might take a
No.
while. No, I don't think we
I
wanna
did
go
not pull
there.
up all the minutes tonight.
Oh. But they're posted, right?
They
Honestly,
came
I
with
have
the
no
email.
idea.
They came with.
I don't know.
Okay,
They came in everyone's email.
Yeah.
With for the meeting last Wednesday.
They were sent on the 31st from Karen.
let me. Were they all in one? Let's see. I got minutes from 9:20.
Yeah, I got those.
The minutes do not appear to be up on the town site yet. In their draft form.
Well, we could go through the 9:20 ones. How many minutes do we have?
I have 3/15. I have March 15th, April 5th, April 19th, June 21st, and August 19th.
19 or
that's what
6.
Well, that's what the files stated. Let me open them up and see what it says August 19th on the minutes. So
The list is wrong. Okay.
I have a suggestion. Maybe each of us could try to find the minutes, and we could just share the screen when we get it up. I've got the 9:20 ones on my screen. I could share that. And then if somebody else wants to tackle the 3:15 and unless we just schedule a separate meeting just to do this.
Are you guys saying you didn't get this email on the 31st? Because I see all your names in the top of it.
I'm looking.
October 31st at 1:16 p.m. from Karen.
They're all there. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay, well, the real question really is everyone ready to vote on any of these?
I think we have to.
Yeah.
Or we have to have a special meeting too. We don't have any definite agenda for another meeting in 2 weeks.
The only other thing would be checking on the feedback from the two boards to see if they approve the report. So, or accept the report, whatever they would do.
Well, to see if they had any adverse reaction to the report, I guess. So that would precipitate a meeting. We could do the minutes then.
Do you want to tackle a
That's
couple of
good.
Bill's
minutes?
shaking his head, yes.
No.
You shouldn't be processing minutes in a meeting right now. You really
No.
shouldn't. You should be scheduling another meeting and do them all in
Everyone-
chunk. And if you have feedback prior to, that's not content and more wordsmith, meaning like punctuation and spelling.
Right.
Just send it and we'll correct it. And because I don't think anything's hit the website. So that would be my suggestion. And I mean, you do have a meeting scheduled right now for the 15th. I don't know when the next selectmen's meeting is and if it's in time, but you would have Board of Ed feedback if there's anything by that point in time.
Sure.
If you wanted to do your regular scheduled meeting, we just got to make sure we have a quorum so that we don't show up and have four
Right.
people and stare at each other and then have to cancel a meeting.
Mhm.
Right.
Sounds
Good
like
with
a
that?
plan to me.
Okay.
As long as, I think Mike said something about the Board of Selectmen having 2 meetings coming up. Maybe they could finish it by that second meeting.
Yeah, and I can talk to Mike and find out when that is, and you could always just cancel the 15th and schedule a special meeting, maybe the day after the selectmen meeting, whatever that is,
Okay.
and move along from there. So you have all of the head nods from BOE, BOS, and then you just approve the minutes of that meeting, and that report is posted.
Okay. That would
That would
be
be my
good.
suggestion.
And everybody would have time to go through them
Yes.
carefully. Yeah.
Okay. I think we've decided that. Last item is motion to adjourn. Anyone?
I
You want to
move
stay
that
here
we
all night?
adjourn
Yeah.
until maybe November 15th, if that works.
Guys, do you have a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Any opposition? I don't see any. Okay.
Perfect.
Good night, folks.
6:40. Thanks all.
All right. Have a good
Will
night.
you make it back to the game, Phil?
Now it's over.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
It's okay.
Yeah.